All right, chat, thank you for your patience. I can confirm we are ready to move forward. So let's give a big warm welcome to Phlap as they start their Ori and the Will of the Wisps any percent no out of bounds speed run. Phlap, take it away, will ya?
Hey chat, hey Sonic Mega. I hope you all are having a wonderful Friday night. Yeah, I've got your guys' attention here for the next 45 minutes or so. So I do hope you enjoy the run. Some quick housekeeping. We're playing on easy, because it's faster. And we are playing on the current patch of the game. A pretty cool thing that the community accepts for the game and the runs is you can run on 1.3, which is the current patch, and 1.2, which is the previous patch. There's a few differences. The main difference between 1.2 and 1.3 is there is a glitch called the menu glitch. We'll be using that a little bit later to do some funny shenanigans. But right now, here we are in a rainy forest. Little adorable creature named Ori. Just... Oh, I forgot to count down. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we're in a forest. Ori just survived a plane crash of sorts. And we are kind of just trying to find our way through right now. We're picking up a couple of items that we'll be using later in the run to buy a bunch of shards. Shards are things that augment Ori in various ways, but I will cover that when we get to that. So I just picked up the torch. Torch is not going to be seen a whole lot. It's a very weird thing, because it kind of doesn't work, but also lets us do this, so it kind of just nets to 0 as, like, a thing that exists. Alright, I'm glad we got that first try. That jump is a lot harder than it looks. Oh, alright. Oh, we picked that up. That's fine. Okay, we're going to die. So, this is one of the differences between 1.2 and 1.3. For some reason, the devs decided that knockback was not strong enough, and just set it to 11. I was attempting to cancel my knockback with a swing, but it didn't happen. But we got it the second time around. It's fine. But another thing to mention about the version differences is there is a community patch that exists for both versions. The main reason it exists is to equalize some of the version differences. So one of the big differences between 1.2 and 1.3, aside, well, it doesn't add menu glitch to 1.2, it can't do that, but the menus in 1.2 are very responsive. You hit the pause button, the game pauses, you navigate the menu, and it's like 1-to-1. 1.3, the menus are extremely slow. You hit like the pause button and wait like 10 seconds for it to pop up, and then do your menuing from there. Community patch just gets rid of that. That's really convenient. Oh, hello. So, yeah, the community for this game is pretty cool. It's got a lot of really cool things. I'll explain something a little bit later when we get one of our power-ups called Sentry. But for right now, we just did a kind of boss fight against Howl. We ran away from him. Now we are going to plunge into their den and go pick up our first actual power-up. That power-up will...
Go ahead.
I was going to say that power-up is Spirit Edge. It's our main way we're going to do damage to things, but also has a ton of utility.
I was going to say, is there a universally agreed power-up within the speedrun community that they're like, this is the one that opens up the most options for speedrun tech?
I don't know if there's a unified one, but off the top of my head, I would say probably would be Sentry. Because one of the...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so it's one of the... Oh, come on. Okay, sorry.
Good save.
That was a tight little 3-second time save. Yeah, so Sentry, it enables a bunch of vertical movement, and you get it for free very early.
Do you have a personal favorite move, even if it's not speedrun related?
That's a tough one. I would probably say, so I played both this and Blind Forest, and I still maintain that Blind Forest with Bash is just the single best power-up in any Metroidvania ever. And so, if I would have to choose something new to this game, it would be Launch, because it's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we do a little fun movement there. Alright, so another important thing to, or I mentioned it earlier, it's the menu glitch. We're about to do that. Basically what it does is it lets us control Ori and the menu at the same time. And what we are going to do with that is we're going to trigger a cutscene and then load a backup save, which that's part of what enables the menu glitch. So I'm going to waste a little bit of time here to make sure my backup saves are correct. One more. And so we're going to go here. I mash backup save because for some reason it doesn't care what you select. It'll just load the first one the first time every time. But here we are, back in front of Howl. So we're going to trigger the menu glitch by pausing the game when the game is loading in. So when we get out of this memory, I'm going to pause, and I'll be able to move Ori and navigate the menu. Once I hit this cutscene, I'm going to do what's known as a jank slowdown, because I'll get to this later. There's some hardware issues, not issues, but things with this game. So okay, we hit the checkpoint. So what that just did is we fell a long way down into Howl's Den, and we would have had to climb out with our sword and double jump. But with the help of menu glitch, we just took that Ori status and teleported him up to the beginning, or up to the Howl fight. So we're out for free. So, okay, I had a minor lapse in, I forgot what I was doing. An important thing that I would have been very sad if I missed was a shard that was right there below, like, the actual Howl, like the start of the Howl chase. That shard is called Reckless. It increases the damage you do by an equal measure of what you take. That's an odd way to say it. Basically, if, like right now, it will increase our damage by 10% and make us take 10% more damage. We're going to be upgrading it later, it'll be 35, but that's whatever. We just picked up a second useful shard. It is Resilience. Resilience is just damage resistance. Okay, so here we are saying hi to a monkey, and we are rudely interrupted by the main antagonist. Everyone, say hi to Shriek.
Such a beautiful game. Like, you can just take a screenshot at any point when playing this game and make it your computer wallpaper.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, so, that sentry we just picked up, if you played this game casually, that's not what it does. It's not supposed to send you into the air like that. But, when you combine a frame-perfect input, a upslash, and a sentry, while you're standing on the ground, as there is an aerial version, you get what's known as a sentry jump. And this is where the community is also really cool here. I'm not doing a frame-perfect well, I guess I am, but I'm not. The community lets you set a macro for it. So I have my controller scheme extremely weird. That allows me to basically hit up X and Y, which X and Y is where your abilities are, so I have Spirit Edge on X, Sentry on Y. So it hits those three inputs all at the same time, and you get a grounded Sentry jump. Now, like I alluded to, there is an aerial version that unfortunately you cannot macro, because it's still a frame perfect trick. It's just you need to time your upslash 3 frames after your sentry. And this is a problem later because there is a long and semi-tedious section where if we mess it up at the end, because it ends with a sentry jump, an aerial sentry jump, if we mess that up, we just have to do the section over again. So we're doing a little bit of housekeeping here. We're picking up some eyes. Need to grab this energy crystal. There we go. And now we'll be quickly approaching our first kind of blind, well, this one's actually blind, swimming section. We're going to do a sequence break where we swim through some poisonous water that we're not supposed to, like, swim in because it's poisonous. The game doesn't want us to go that way.
It builds character.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to exploit the fact that there is a checkpoint situated, like, perfectly in the middle. So kind of one of those happy accidents, I guess. So I'm going to get rid of this guy right here because he likes to shoot me sometimes. And we're going to just swim. I didn't get it. If you look in the bottom left, there will be a little swirl that, like, appears whenever you get an autosave. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. So that's part 1 done. Part 2. And we're out ski. Right, so we're heading this way. Hello. Those mosquitoes were very lively. We're heading down this way to pick up a handful of things. The first thing we'll be picking up... Well, actually, the first thing we'll be doing once we hit this switch... This skips a cutscene that opens... So, doing a sentry jump there to get up to that switch skips a little force fight from that beetle that shows up. This quitting out skips a door opening. Anyway, so I mentioned earlier we'll be using currency item to buy things. We're going to do that exactly once, and because of that, we need a very precise amount of spirit light. That's the currency. What I just touched there is the end of a race. It unlocks it. So, doing a race the first time gives you spirit light. This one will give me 1,000. And right over here is dash. After we pick that up, we'll be picking up another 200, and that will give us, that combined with the amounts we picked up earlier, will give us the perfect amount for our shopping trip.
So, can I ask you a question, Phlap, about how you play this game casually? Because I'm curious if you do it the same way I do.
Go for it.
So when I first played Ori, because I like to review all the skills that a character can learn, as soon as I saw that there was a skill that makes you gain more skill points, I was like, I focused on that first and at the detriment of all my other skills. Are you a min-maxer when it comes to stuff like that, or do you typically go for what's going to make the game easier to play in the early stages?
Depends. I do very much like doing the level up your thing to level up faster.
Yep.
That's just really good. And then there's also the idea of I want to kill stuff faster, so if there's like a raw damage increase, I'll probably go for that like second.
Mm-hmm. It's so addictive. I love the idea of, like, you start out slow, things are difficult, but around the time that everything's opening up, now you're just buying everything under the sun and the whole box just bursts wide open for you.
Yeah. It's really fun. So I got a little trolled there. I'm going to blame 1.3's knockback for throwing me off there. What needed to happen is I needed to go right. Oh, not right there. Stop it.
Ooh. Just mentioning we had a raid come in from TD Warrior HS. Thank you very much for dropping by. You're watching Fastest Furs Fall Festival 2024. We're currently in the middle of a Ori and the Will of the Wisps speedrun by Phlap. I'm Sonic Mega hosting, and we are here experiencing a beautiful game. So sit tight, grab a snack, grab some water, and watch the frames fly.
Welcome, Raiders. So here's the race. This should only take about 20 seconds. Just gotta get down to where we unlocked the ending of the race. And we're moving on. 17 and a half. That's normally what I get. Alright, so we did the hollow swim once going down. Now we have to do it again going up. First off, we'll pick up this mana. Or complete a mana... Oh, hello. Can't say I've ever picked up Spirit Light there. But if you saw, we hit the Okay, I messed that up a little bit. Alright, we're good. Saved. And so we hit the... Just like before, we swim to like that middle checkpoint, hit it, die, respawn, and do second half. I find that, for some reason, it is kind of flip-flopped on me for some reason. When I first started playing, the swim up was the hardest part. Now, for whatever reason, that initial swim has been giving me a lot of trouble, and the ending bit has been flawless every time. Alright. But, if there are any bow lovers out there, sorry to say the bow's going to be going away for almost the rest of the run. It'll come back again at the end, but we'll be putting that away and switching that over to regenerate. Regenerate, as it may imply, heals you, but like every game that is a game, I don't know where I was going with that, you can wave dash. If you do a funny little input against a wall, or if you dash into a wall and hold the other direction and then regenerate and do some other things, you'll wave dash. Alright, there we go. So here's our shopping trip. And since this is a speedrun, standing still is lame, so we're not going to stand still and shop. We're just going to keep going. Ignore the fact that I'm standing still right now.
Okay, that's impressive to me. Being able to move around the world while also buying stuff, I could never have that kind of coordination, so kudos.
Almost messed that up. Alright, so I did mention earlier we needed a precise amount of Spirit Light, and you may have noticed I was about 200 short. I bought those other 2 shards on store credit. Alright, so I was hoping not to have to talk about this. What just happened there? That is what I call a baby jump. What happens, because I think it's how the physics of the game are. Also, shoutouts to Blind Forest. Here is Bash. You can't skip this cutscene, it's too powerful. Kinda can, but... Anyway, baby jumps. They are like the bane of my existence. Because if your game is not running like exactly at 60 FPS, you get a sentry jump that's about a third to a quarter of the height that it normally is. And 9 times out of 10, when they happen, it's detrimental to your run. I was able to recover it by doing an aerial sentry jump, which I'm kind of surprised I got that on the fly, but hey, we got it. We're moving right along. So here is that section that I alluded to earlier. There we go, a little cutscene skip there. This is known as Silent Swim. It's that long, tedious section through poisonous water that has no checkpoints in the middle of it, and ends in an aerial sentry jump. So I'm also going to switch to keyboard and mouse for this because it makes it a bit easier. And unlike Hollow Swim, there is some semblance of visibility, so I can kind of see where I'm going. And it's in kind of like 3 parts. So that was part 1, just getting here. Part 2, we need to open the way forward. And then part 3 is the swim. Go down. Go.
Chat, I want to hear from you in donations. If Ori came out with a 3rd game, like we had Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, if they came out with a 3rd game, what would you think would be the subtitle of the 3rd game? I want to hear it in donations. I always love theory crafting, like if they came out with a new one, what would be a really cool sounding sub-name for games like that?
That is an interesting question. It's actually one that I've thought of myself, but I haven't thought of an answer. Hey, first try. We're out ski. I'm gonna go for a thing right here. I didn't get it. So now Ori gets to stand on air in a cutscene. I believe that's called a cutscene lift. What I was intending to do is hit that ledge over on the left and then just jump over that cutscene trigger. But oh well. It's funny if it's missed. I'm just going to reset my health and mana there. And try this. There we go. That's called a sentry dash. It's very similar to a sentry jump, but instead you use a dash. Or, not instead. It's less precise and it has a dash component to it. I guess a dash instead of an up slash. You still have to slash, but... Alright, so... Ah, yes, a keystone. Thank you. If you remember, back at the beginning, we did a menu... not a menu glitch. We did the I'm brain farting on it. Oh, I don't know why. We did menu glitch. We're about to do that again. Because coming up is a very long sequence where Ori's raiding Ku, there's like updrafts, and you have to like navigate, and Ori can just do that faster and better just solo. So I also did a little sentry jump there to skip like a section where Ori is like walking all slow, looking at the birds in the background. But yeah, so here's, menu glitch part 2. So we're going to pause the game. We're going to walk forward. We're going to load. This time we don't have to do a jank slowdown or try to get to any kind of cutscene trigger. We have to make sure not to step on Ku though. Otherwise it will start that sequence that I was talking about, which is, like I said, slow. Go wave dash, go across. Nice. And a really cool side effect of that is you may notice that I have only picked up 1 key there because I just used 2, but I have 3. So the save that actually gets loaded is the one before that door we had just previously opened was opened. So we only need to pick up 2 of those keys.
So if I can ask another question, what was your favorite escape sequence? Because from what I remember, there would be like these big, I would almost call them dungeons that you had to do, and they almost always had some escape sequence you had to do towards the end. Was there one in particular that stuck out with you the most?
Definitely not as much as escaping the water when you first get bashed in the Blind Forest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That one's got like the main theme playing and everything too.
That's true.
It's so good.
It was so frustrating, but so good.
Yeah. Oh man, Bash is so fun. There we go. So that was Sentry Dash number 2. Sentry Dash number 3. So I kind of did that second one weirdly because there's not... You have to do a Sentry Dash on a slope, and there's kind of not a slope there. So I kind of needed to create one with a geometry. We got that first try. If I did not do that, we would have jumped back onto Ku's back and soft-locked the game. So here we are, coming into the windswept wastes. The floor is lava. If I touch the ground anywhere through there, it starts like this mandatory stealth section where Shriek just one-shots you a bunch, and it's really annoying. We land up on these bones. And note that wall. If this was not no out of bounds, we could go out of bounds and skip this entire section and power up. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Where did my HUD go? So I'm just going to be making my way towards Burrow. That's what will let us dig through the dirt. But not a whole lot's going on, so if you got things you need to read or shout out, go for it.
Yeah, we did manage to get a $5 donation from the Scuba Pup. They came up with their Ori third game name, which is Ori and the Twitch chat spells skate. I don't know what I expected. I deserved that. But they put it towards the Undertale song bid war for Megalovania. Let's actually touch base on those incentives real quick. So, on the Sound Voltex Undertale song bid war, currently, Save the World, Finale, and Battle Against a True Hero are all tied for second place at $5. Megalovania is in the lead at $125. So that is, it's not too late for someone else to take the lead. I'm down for Battle Against a True Hero to get a surprise victory, but that is up to you, chat. Meanwhile, in the 7th Dan Showcase, we're still at 172 out of 777. That run is coming up pretty soon. We are only about 2 hours away from that run happening. At the very least, we are $138 away from $8,000, and I'm sure you would like to be able to be the ones to say I was there when that happened. So let's set that as our goal, chat. Let's get to 8K before the end of Ori, which is about 20 minutes from now. I know it's possible. I believe in you. Let's do it.
Let's go, chat. Oh, all right. So here we are making our way to Willow's End and the last leg of this run. Before we get there, whoops, try that again. Before we get there, we're going to pick up what I mentioned earlier as my favorite power from this game is Launch. So here comes Reckless. I mentioned that at the beginning. And something that may be odd that I've neglected to mention so far is the various resources Ori has. So things like your double jump, your air dash, all that gets refreshed when you touch the ground, touch a wall, or hit an enemy. Quick preface, the way Ori's attack works in this game is you do a 5-hit combo like that. And there's like a lot of lag on that end hit, but... Hello? Excuse me, sir. Please, let me do thing. Alright. Attack me. There we go. You can do this really cool thing, though, where... This guy is trolling me. Where your double jump will reset your attack timer, or your attack count. So you can kind of just go Ultra Instinct Ori by doing a few slashes into... Be careful here, I can instantly die. Doing a few slashes into a double jump, and then you hit it again, refresh your double jump, and you just repeat that ad nauseum until your enemy is no longer your enemy. Alright, that was Launch. Here we are, going to be heading back into like the actual Willow's End. This is a gauntlet of movement. That's probably the best way to say it. Excuse me. And it all culminates with one final boss fight against the aforementioned bird. Oh, that's not good. That was awkward. These teleporters are a little bit finicky on where you can go through them. There we go. That should be better. Alright. Yeah. But since it is such an intense section, I'm not going to be able to commentate a whole lot because there's kind of like a lot going on.
Well, it's good that timing works out because Scuba Pup and I have been feuding in chat, and I was like, why don't you donate another $5? And they did. They did donate another $5. Scuba Pup donated $5 and said, Ori and the Torture of Sonic Mega. Because why not? I bet you won't do that again. Nah, it's okay. Thank you so much for your support. But I will remind everyone that we are supporting a great cause this time around. Fastest Furs 2024 is in support of Trans Lifeline, proud to be raising money for their 5th consecutive year. They were founded in 2014. They're a crisis and peer support hotline run by trans people for trans and questioning callers. This is the part that I like the most. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline operators have answered over 100,000 calls from their peers, and we fully support the mission of Trans Lifeline to help and empower trans people through the power of community and shared lived experience. If you want to learn more, you can visit www.translifeline.org, and I strongly recommend it. You can also do !charity, which will bring up information as well. But everyone who's donating is helping support this great cause, helping bring this resource to people who very much need it, and we appreciate all of you for that. Even just spreading the word is helping out, so thank you.
All right. So a quick thing to note is I mentioned that there is 8 hearts, and on the first one, I did a quaint little cutscene skip that saves 8 seconds per hearts. And because what happens when you destroy one of the hearts, it does like a cutscene where it like explodes and then shows you where it explodes. But if you do something what I did similarly to right before I did the silent swim to skip a cutscene, you hit a save trigger right after the heart has exploded, and you can just quit out, and then the game's like, well, the heart's gone. Don't play the cutscene again. That works on 6 of the 8 hearts. Oh, that's sad. I accidentally sticked wrong. Oh well. It would have been cool though.
I have to bring this up. So the Scuba Pup donates another $5 and comments, Ori and the stop saying you won't do that again because I want to make you frustrated. At that point, I wonder if the Switch case would just like run out of space for the title. Like it would have to run onto the back of the case. So,
Oh, that'd
like,
be great.
Like, and then the fourth game is like Ori and the. We really just wanted to see if the publisher would put a cap on how many words we could put into this title because now it's cutting into the marketing and advertising for this game. Thank you so much, Scuba Pop. And hey, Scuba, if you at this point I see $15 from you. If you haven't already hit 50 cumulative. I would strongly recommend you just hit that $50 so you can be entered to win the giant Balatro Cavendish Perler. Can we get a link in chat showing how big this Perler shows? Because like I can describe it, but I feel like you all need to see it to truly understand how cool of a prize this is. And also, we're getting a raid from Risuru, the goose themselves. Hello! Welcome, Raiders. You're watching Fastest Furs Fall Festival 2024, supporting Trans Lifeline. We are coming up on the last bits of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, run by Phlap right now. But what you really should be doing right now, besides donating, is clicking that image link that just got posted, the Google Drive link. Look at that thing. Look at that. That is, there's no banana for scale. That is the banana right there. It's at least 7. I guarantee you that's at least 7. 7 what? I don't know. But it's at least that. Cumulative donation of $50 today enters you in to win that giant perler. And I have to emphasize today because after this run, we have 3 more games and then that's it. And the prize list for Friday closes. So don't delay. Get those donations in and you too can be the proud owner of the single biggest banana for scale that Fastest Furs has ever offered.
Using a banana for scale is extremely important. She reminds me of, this is completely off topic. My sister crocheted me a dragon, and I didn't have a banana for scale, so I had to use my cat.
Just out of context, that's so good. I didn't have a banana for scale, so I had to use my cat. It's amazing.
Right. So here's a little boss fight, and prepare for more Ultra Instinct Ori. So a really, really funny thing. Way back at the beginning, I mentioned, or maybe I didn't, one of the shards that we bought during our shopping trip is called Wing Clip. It does increased damage to flying enemies. I guess a floating sphere of energy counts as a flying enemy. And for those of you who have played this game before, you may or may not know, or who have finished this game, know what the final boss is. It's Shriek, a bird. It does not work on her. The big flying bird enemy does not take extra damage for the thing that does more damage to flying enemies. I believe the reason is because the devs thought that would be too broken. Alright, so that was Heart 7. That heart and the one before it from the Willowstone, the mini-boss fight. Those were the 2 cutscenes you can't skip. You have to watch those. And I also just died there because I had taken a lot of damage from things. And this next area has a lot of damage boosting in it, so I'm actually going to heal. There we go. Alright, this room is a bit rough. Only a little bit faster, I'd have gotten that. Oh, do that. There we go.
Chat, we're less than $100 away from 8K. That's a good rhyme. $100 away from 8K. Let's make it happen today. I believe in you.
You don't have a lot more time. That was the last heart.
We're so close. We're so close. We can point and laugh at all the folks of the next run and be like, we hit 8K before you did. Haha.
Exactly.
Now you have to hit 8.5 or 9.
Yeah, because that was the last heart, so now we are making our way up to Shriek. We have unlocked the way. And for any of you who may have been frustrated by this fight, I guess this one's for you. Because we are going to just absolutely demolish her. My brain stopped working there for a second. Alright, so I will explain the fight after we're done, because I do kind of need to focus on it. Alright, so, real quick, this is like a 5-phase fight. Hopefully, we will kill her here, during this phase, where you're just running away from her.
How does that work? Or are you going to explain if it pulls off?
That. I guess that was kind of a little hint there if you saw the damage numbers. You can damage her during this section.
What? No.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! If I can jump in, I'm sorry to spook you while you're trying to do this. We just hit $8,000 during the stream! Let's go! We got our oobs!
Nice.
Yes, yes, yes! Thank you so much, everyone! Do you need focus time, or can I read some donations
Go
as we
for
get
it.
into...
I screwed it up. As you can see, she has one shot left, so now we just have to wait here for her to do this.
We have a
Unfortunate.
$5 donation from Dashy Swag 92 saying Ori and the Song of the Soul. I really like that name.
That's a good one.
Going towards the Song Bid War for finale, we have a $25 donation from Heathclaw saying Ori and the Fastest Furs, putting this to more marathon for a great cause. Going towards the 7th Down Showcase, Heathclaw, thank you. Sky Vicnair donates $5 saying we're talking about ridiculous Ori titles. How about Ori and the Legend of those weird fake mobile game ads that are so outrageous, but now we put those games in our game so you can play the folk mobile games for real in your console game, and Knuckles. You know what? I wasn't sold on it until and Knuckles happened, and now it's day one pre-order. I'm gonna get the collector's edition.
All right. So quick warning: if you don't want the heavy feels, or I guess spoilers for the ending of this game, maybe go take a stretch break or drink something, because it's about to get very sad. Also, we have about 3 minutes before the end of the run. 2 minutes of that is cutscenes. So, have at it.
I almost don't want to interrupt the cutscene, you know? But, like, you know, I will read out. I will read out. Folks who don't want to watch the cutscenes can just listen to my sultry, dulcet tones. And then folks who do want to watch the cutscene and have the tissues prepared can cry to their hearts out, for all I care. Here's a good reason to cry, here to get misty-eyed. What helped bump us over $8,000 raised for charity was just some Andy donating $100, saying, did someone say $100 away from 8K? Not anymore!
Nice.
Thank you so much, Just Some Andy. Appreciate you so much. And by the way, Just Some Andy was also one of our hosts earlier today, and it was so easy to come into my shift running off of that energy. So Andy, thank you for making it so easy for me to do my job as well. And then lastly, for right now, we have... This is such a turn of emotions. While you all are watching this scene, we had a $1 donation from the Scuba Pup towards the Megalovania, commenting, Ori and the Fitnessgram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. Find a way to fit this on the front of the package, Sonic Mega. You.
All right, so first set of cutscenes are pretty much over. This next part technically isn't a cutscene because you have control of the character and whatnot, but it's just a little crawling segment. If you're paying attention and mashing your buttons, Ori will just lay there forever. So you have to hit a button before Ori can start walking to the right. This is probably where a lot of the heavy feels come in. But time is also coming up. When Ori gets up to that light at the top of this hill and drops down to one knee, that'll be it. And I guess I neglected to explain the boss fight. There's not a lot to Fast Shriek. That's what it's called when you kill her before those extra phases at the end. It is just trying to optimize damage while you're running away from her. You can actually get hits on her as she leaves from phase 1, transitioning to phase 2. And it's as simple as that. It's just you have to know like where your damage windows are, and then just try and optimize those as much as you can. But here we are, time, and that's Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, any percent, no out of bounds. This cutscene, this game did a lot of damage to me. It took me a while to come back to this game because the ending is so sad. But yeah, that was the run.
Thank you so much for sharing it. Any shout outs you want to give? Any socials folks can follow you on? Any other speedruns you're working on at the moment?
I've been thinking about picking up Tunic. I've been thinking about that one for a long time.
Yes.
The run
Always
before
room
was
for more tongue.
really great. Had to find the right category and everything. But yeah, other socials and stuff I don't really use social media beyond Discord. My Twitch is twitch.tv/Phlap. I'm sure that's somewhere on the overlay.
Well, as someone who voiced in Dust and Elysian Tale, thank you personally for having the fidget avatar. I very much appreciate that.
It's such a good game.
Made by one person.
Yep.
At least,
and
yeah.
He's been working on question mark for the last decade, and it's highly suspected it's Dust 2, but
I think if there's one thing we've learned, it's that furries with game dev experience and enough time on their hands are a force to be reckoned with.
Very fair. I'm excited to see whatever their new project is.
So, since we're watching this, if I can share something. When I played this game, there's that part where like it's a very emotionally heavy cutscene, and then it cuts to black when Ori falls into the forest. The first time I was playing the game and streaming it, the screen cuts to black, and it stays black for like a solid 20-30 seconds. And I'm sitting here going, wow, they really are selling the emotion of this scene. And then my Switch crashed.
Oh no!
So I was sitting here like thinking it was a very, very heavy scene where it's like it was supposed to just let the weight of the moment sit with you. And then it said the software encountered an issue and it booted me to the home screen. And I had to redo that entire boss fight and cutscene to get back to that moment. It took me completely out of it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. Yeah, this game has a lot of sad elements to it. There's like one of the side quests where one of the little lemur-looking guys is like, "Where's my family?" You go and find that his family is dead, and then he goes to his family to be with them.
Why would you bring that up? We're so close to escaping the sadness.
It's just probably one of the biggest things that stuck with me when I played this game. That and this ending where the tears.
From chat, Dashy Swag says, the part that kills me the most is just when the tree goes, when my name was Ori.
I think that's soon. Everything about this game and Blind Forest are so good. The music, the art, the gameplay. Very good games. You are committing a crime against yourself if you are neglecting to play these games. If you own them, play them. If you own them and haven't played them, play them. They're very good.
So cool. So cool. I agree, Dashy. Song of the Soul is probably my favorite out of the ones that I saw. Good job. I know some of these names too. As someone who does voice acting, I did not know that there were colleagues of mine who played like the Spider Queen and like some of the recurring NPCs in this. So that was a real cool thing to discover as well when I finished this game.
That's pretty cool, yeah. Yes.
If we can get one more round of applause for Phlap and their playthrough of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's one thing to get to experience such a beautiful game, but whenever it's in the hands of someone skilled with all of the movement tech, like whether it's, Metroid Dread or whether it's Dust Force or whether it's Ori, I love playing those games. I love how smooth they feel, but I gotta be honest with you, I love watching someone who's way more skilled than I am beat those games. So good. Gonna throw a quick donation at you all. We had a $5 donation come in from FBL right near the end with their own Ori name. Ori, I knew it. I knew this was gonna happen. FBL comments, Ori and the have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG? It leaves off there, but we already filled it in with our own heads. So I am gonna check real quick and see if we have something coming up on our in-between. So it'll either be me or something else, but just give me a little bit, chat. I'll check back in with you in a moment. All right. We're going to toss it over because we have an interview with Bursic Badger about the upcoming... Hold on one second. I'm going to make sure that's correct before I go further. Live events, people. Give me just a sec. My correction, chat. The interview is with Ellie for Sound Voltex, so I will take responsibility for that. So please give a warm welcome to Ellie, and let's have ourselves a fun time here in this interview. Let's toss it over.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to Fastest First Fall Fest 2024. I am here today with Ellie, who will be playing Sound Voltex Exceed Gear for us. How are you doing today, Ellie?
Doing great. Excited for the run.
All right. And just to get started, just a easy question. For those who don't know much about rhythm games, or specifically Sound Voltex, what about this game is going to be the thing that they should be looking forward to?
So there is a couple major things I would say that really draw attention to this run. One is I'm going to have a hand cam, and we're going to go through one of the easier charts to like one of the harder charts, about 20 or so songs. And you're going to see some pretty interesting movements going on just throughout. It's going to get more and more intense as things go on. There's a lot of also fun things that the game itself does in terms of like how the playfield presents itself, because there's different camera angles, and it's just overall a very dynamic game, I would say.
All right, and I love that you're talking about why you like the game, because my next question was, in the field of rhythm games, what is it about this game that drew you to it over any other rhythm game? Or do you have another rhythm game you'd say you play just about as much as this one?
I have actually kind of a few rhythm games that I main, I would say. So there's Sound Voltex, obviously. I also play a bunch of Dance Dance Revolution, like dance games in the groove. that kind of thing. And I also play a bunch of poppin' music, just in my spare time, if you've heard of that one. So I think the main thing that attracts me to all three of these games, really, is just the amount of movement required in a lot of charts, especially on the higher level. For dance games specifically, I like to play double, so I do a lot of just movement back and forth, and you're like basically never staying still, and you're always needing to do something just as the charts demand.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sound Voltex is a game with a lot of buttons, especially with the knobs. There's a lot of movement there, so I can see why that's like a recurring theme. Which, speaking of the controls of Sound Voltex, it is hard. I've played a lot of other rhythm games, but it eludes me at times how tricky Sound Voltex can be with its movements. Do you have any advice for people that want to get into rhythm games maybe, but don't have as much experience about like good ways to practice or just like general words of encouragement?
General words of encouragement, I would say that everyone starts somewhere, and that absolutely includes me. I know, for example, when started playing DDR forever ago at this point, my first song was a level 1, and I barely passed it. I got a D, and I would like to think I'm considerably better at this point. So lots of practice. Most, if not all, rhythm games have a pretty nice learning curve, especially lately because of how much content there is. Earlier on in rhythm game lifespans, there didn't used to be that much content, so like going from easiest to hardest, for example, content available was kind of a steep curve, but nowadays there's so much content out there for like any rhythm game you could think of.
All right. Well, for my last question, I do want to focus on that content a bit because I want to bring it back to your particular showcase. Tell us about some songs that you are the most excited to play for us.
Ooh, okay. So let's see. Yeah, I did curate the song list. Just went through some practice streams. I would say we're gonna have an Undertale song about midway through. We're gonna have a couple, at least one Ecor song. Very, very wild. A lot of the harder songs that I'm pretty excited about. Specifically, I've been practicing a 19 called Xenogravity, and it's going to have a lot of very non-static, like, dynamic hand movements, so be sure to check the hand cam on that one.
All right. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm almost as excited to watch the hand cam as I am to watch the gameplay. I love rhythm games, but I'm definitely not at that level. So this is just a super exciting showcase to have. We're super excited to have you in the event, and thank you so much for joining me in this interview. Best of luck on your run.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Once again, that was our interview with Ella for their upcoming showcase of Sound Voltex Exceed gear, which you, the viewers, helped add on a boss rush incentive. You blew past that incentive earlier today, and I'm so proud of you all for it. I'm wondering if you can do it again before the end of my host shift tonight, because we have one more game that I'm hosting. We have 3 more tonight. Don't go early, but one more that I'm hosting. Coming up is The Adventure of Rika, The Cursed Kingdom Any Percent by Vanny Van. That's going to last about 30 minutes, and we are just under halfway from finishing the incentive for the 7th Dan showcase in Beatmania Infinitas. We're at 332 out of 777. I would be over the moon if we could hit an incentive for each of the games that I happen to be hosting tonight, and I would love your support in making that happen. But while you're donating, I also suggest that you make sure you assign it to an incentive or bid war. The option is visible while filling in your donation, helps to make the marathon the best it can be. You can see a list of all incentives and bid wars for the entire marathon by using the command !charity. exclamation point coffee, exclamation point Discord, exclamation point donate, exclamation point incentives, exclamation point prizes. Anything relating to this charity probably has an exclamation point command attached to it, so play around and find out what you can discover. It's like your own Tunk Run. There's secrets to be found. We just need you to play. It's been such a long day. I don't want to go. I'm so excited. It's cool being here with everybody. I like that the last 2 games are going to be Sound Voltex and Beatmania, because I feel like there's going to be so much visual information going on that it's going to tire my eyes out. And then once it's done, I'm going to go, all right, it's time to go to bed. And I'm just going to sleep like a rock. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be so good. Also, I am so impressed with what y'all did with donating and getting us past $8,000 that I am going to write those lyrics for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX tomorrow. I've already got them in mind, and I love that game to death, so I will do it for you, so I look forward to that. But this is not about me. It's about the wonderful donations that you all are sending in to support a great cause as we are supporting Trans Lifeline during this event. So real quick, I wanted to say that we had a $25 donation from Yoshi86up, who, in fact, is the person who is going to be running Beatmania, saying, did you know that if we raise enough money for the 7th Dan Showcase, we get to visit the animals at the Safari? One of the most infamous level 10s in the entire series. Make me suffer. They themselves said it. The man himself said it. Make him suffer. Get those donations in. We only have 2 more games before Beatmania happens. And I believe that incentive actually closes it's at the end of the showcase, at the end of that game. So, little bit more time than I thought, but please don't let it get swept out from under you. Thank you, Yoshi86, for letting everyone know. I appreciate it. We also have a $5 donation from Drake Lake that says, good luck, Vanny. Don't have a lot to donate this year, but I know every dollar can count. So here are 5 I can give and hope they'll provide for others. My love and respect to everyone involved with this, so thank you all for your hard work. Drake, thank you so much for your donation, and please don't undersell yourself. 100 people donating $5 is $500. 200 people donating $5 is $1,000. Every little bit helps, and your participation is so beloved and so cherished. Thank you. Okay. I believe